Shri Gurubhyo Namaha students. In the previous session, we have seen how Germany got unified. In this session, we are going to see how Italy got unified. Like Germany, Italy too had a long history of political fragmentation. Italians were scattered over several dynastic states as well as multinational Habsburg Empire. During the mid-19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states. Of the 7 states, only one state, that was Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled by the Italian prince. Rest of the states were ruled by outside forces. So let's see how Italy got unified with whose support in this session. Now, the unification of Italy. So we can see that Italian states, how they were fragmented in different colors, you can see. Only Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by the Italian prince. So Italy was divided into many small states. Previously, it was under the control of Napoleon. So after the Vienna Congress 1815, Italy was put under control of Austria and papal control. So it got fragmented. The language, Italian language, didn't have one common form. So Italy in 1858, Piedmont, Sardinia, the condition we are going to see in this slide, it was moderately wealthy and ruled by the Italian prince. And Venetia and Lombardy, one another state, it was under Austria and it was very prosperous. Parma, Modena and Tuscany, these states were well governed by independent kingdom rulers, but dominated by Russia. The ultimate power was with Russia, but it was ruled by independent rulers. The central Italy, papal states, it was poor and backward and ruled by Pope. And it relied on Austria. Though it was ruled by Pope, it relied on Austria. The southern states of Italy, Naples and Sicily, kingdom of 2 Sicilies, they were poor and backward and ruled by Spanish royal family. Spanish royal family. Again, it was under the control of Austria. So, Pope Pius IX. So, he ruled the northern Italy, Austria ruled northern Italy, and Italy was divided and weak. Pope Pius IX and the Catholic Church controlled the central Italy, called the Papal States. The central part of Italy was controlled by Pope. Giuseppe Maini, already we have read about Giuseppe Maini, who dreamt Italy into one nation state. He had, in his dream, he had formed 2 secret societies, Young Italy and Young Bernie. And he wanted to put together a coherent program for a unitary Italian republic. He was the main reason for Italian unification. But his measures to make Italy into one unit, he had he had taken a lot of measures, but his failures of revolutionary uprisings in 1831 and in 1848, the responsibility fell on Victor Emmanuel, who was the king, who was the prince of Italy. So the role of Camillo di Cavour, chief minister of Sardinia, again you can see that it was by a conservative. Though Giuseppe Maini was a liberal, the chief minister of Sardinia, Italy, Camillo de Cavour, was a conservative. He had a diplomatic alliance with France, which helped him to defeat Austrian forces in 1859. And he gained control over Lombardy, Parma, and Modena and Tuscany, and drove the rulers and joined with Sardinia. His role in attaching, annexing the other states like Lombardy, Parma, Modena, and Tuscany with Sardinia was immense. And the role of Giuseppe Garibaldi, his role was also very important because he was the man who united the southern states of Italy into Italy. Southern states of Italy into the main Italy, Sardinia Piedmont. He was a soldier and a member of Young Italy, that is the secret society of Giuseppe Maini. He had a revolt in Naples against the king, led a 1,000 volunteer army, which is known as Red Shirts, popularly known as Red Shirts. And he was supported by Camillo de Cavour and won the control of southern Italy and unified with North, Sardinia Piedmont. So, every conservative, every liberal every member of secret society had dreamed Italy into one unit. Giuseppe Garibaldi's role, you can see Giuseppe Garibaldi here. So Giuseppe Garibaldi's role is very, very immense. So let's see how Giuseppe Garibaldi helped in making the southern states to join with the northern states of Italy. So we can see Giuseppe Garibaldi here. Red Shirts army. You can see all these people wear red shirts, which is known as 1,000 volunteers and red Shirts army. So the Red Shirts army moved north and Cavour sent troops south. By 1861, the two armies overran all Italian states but Venetia and Rome. By 1871, all Austrian control had ended and the Pope could not fight off Italian troops who seized Rome. So Rome became the capital of the United Nation of Italy. So here comes the unification of Italy. Italy got unified into one unit, and Victor Emmanuel II, the king of Piedmont, Sardinia, he encouraged and desired unified Italy, which offered the possibility of economic development and political dominance. Again, you can see he belongs to the section of conservative and appointed Cavour as his chief minister to unify the regions of Italy. So his efforts also plays an important role in unifying Italy. Finally, in the year 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was finally proclaimed as the King of United Italy. So in this next slide, we can see how Italy was fragmented into many states. You can see how different colors are seen, how it was ruled by different, only one, the Sardinia and Piedmont were ruled by Victor Emmanuel II. Rest of the states were ruled by outside forces like Spanish rulers, Pope, and Austria. And finally, it got unified into one unit in 1861, and Victor Emmanuel II became the king of United Italy. So, thus, the unification of Italy had taken place. And in the next session, we will see with the next topic of Britain, the strange case of Britain. We have seen that Italy and Germany had fought in the battlefield and won and made their country into one unit. But in the case of Britain, we are going to see without any war, just by passing a law, an act in the parliament, they made many countries into one unit, which is known as United Kingdom. Okay, so let's see in the next session. Thank you, children.